Welcome to this guided meditation. My name is Reverend Anne Ahokangas, and join me in the I Am as I speak this meditation in the first person, present tense, and positive, remembering there is only one thing going on here: life, spirit, the source of all. So take a deep breath now. Hold it for a moment and let it out. Take another deep breath in. Hold it for a moment and let it out. Close your eyes if that's comfortable, and allow the whirling thoughts that may be going on in your mind to be set aside for a moment. And bring your focus to your heart center. And let's take a moment now, gently breathing, and imagine someone that you love in your mind's eye. And just see them looking at you and you looking at them. And feel the love that you feel within your heart, within your body, for this person. And allow this love to be your guide during this meditation. So today I choose to maintain a constant state of gratitude for everything in life, all my experiences, and especially today, this now moment. Allow the words that I speak to be the words of your own heart. I know that this life is the life of God expressing perfectly. I know the eternal nature of the divine is within all things, and lives its life by means of that which it has created. Pure beauty is always being displayed, and every aspect of life is a demonstration of the same beauty that exists within all things. I am one with this beauty. Perfect unity is being expressed in and through me now. I take the time to align myself right now with knowing that the infinite Creator is what breathes me, is me, in every way. And I feel and sense my connectivity to it. I know that life, spirit, is ageless and timeless. And I know that I am too. I am one with the life that is being expressed in its perfection by means of me. And each and every day, I have greater wisdom and greater clarity. And as I open up to this spirit that is who I am, I open up to love and compassion. I am capable of all that I am able to dream. Anything is possible for me through the Spirit within me. I know that time is just time, neither against me or for me. And Spirit as me supports me as I evolve and grow. My awareness continues to expand. I celebrate life in every way I know how. Today I choose to bring in the awareness of joy, happiness, giggling and laughing, for I know they are natural parts of who I am. And the more I am joyful, happy, and laughing, the more I open up to love and compassion. I bless the day of my birth, knowing that it is the most joyous day I have ever known. And every day from that day forward is a fabulous day. And every day adds to my joy and celebration of life. I take the time now to just breathe gently in, hold it for a moment, and let it out. And I recognize that so many times in life, it can be difficult to see the greater possibilities before me. But I know as I focus on the Spirit within, all limitation and constriction are transformed into love and compassion and infinite possibilities. Something greater is always evolving. And I know that as I accept the greater possibilities, I experience a fuller life. And I accept all of life, even the paths of struggle. Because right here in this realization of God as the infinite presence, I also know that good exists. I know that God, everywhere present, is also within me. And this power knows, and this power provides. And I know that it expresses not only as me and through me, throughout all of eternity. And greater realities unfold as I open up to this all-loving nature of the divine. I know that life, creation, is whole, perfect, and complete. And that everything is an endless demonstration of infinite good. I am one with this infinite good. I am the perfect expression of that good now. Every cell of my being is God being. Every idea in my mind is an activity that is taking place through the one infinite mind of endless possibilities. Everything good in my life is the demonstration of that one life, one spirit. I realize that what I focus on grows. So I focus on that which I desire, seeing it and feeling it now as though it is already manifest. For I realize that the only thing that stands between me and greater possibilities are my thoughts. I now surrender anything that pretends to express itself as the only possibility in my life. I know that there is an endless amount of potential and possibility within me, and I call that forth now. I see it demonstrating and being revealed in the most useful and helpful ways for me and everyone around me. I honor life by accepting greater possibilities for myself and anyone that I perceive is limited in their expression. As I know this for myself and everyone else, it expands into a greater revelation of the presence of God within me. I see it and I feel it. All I need to do is take the first step. For I know that God, Spirit within me, has already paved the way for everything I desire to demonstrate. I accept this as the truth, and I am now set free by it. I am the expression of greater possibilities. I feel a deep gratitude as my life unfolds in the most beautiful ways. And my heart pours out its gratitude, blessing myself and everyone else. I release all these thoughts into the law of mind action, knowing that my word always returns to me fulfilled. I feel the joy, the love, the peace, and the compassion that are who I truly am. Life responds to me in kind, and so as I am joyful, I receive more joy. As I am compassionate, compassion fills my soul. Life demonstrates according to what I place into it. and that brings me great joy. It is done. Please join with me in affirming, and so it is. Gently bring your awareness back to the room, back to the chair that you're sitting on, back to this time and place, and know that you have performed a definitive act in spirit, in mind, and infinite possibilities are yours. Have a blessed day.
Today I see myself as beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Today I see myself as beautiful, for I see with the eyes of God. Today I see myself as beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Today I see myself as beautiful, for I see with the eyes of God. Wonderful. Today I see myself as wonderful, so wonderful, so wonderful. Today I see myself as wonderful, for I see with the eyes of God. And powerful. Today I see myself as powerful, so powerful, so powerful. Today I see myself as powerful, for I see with the eyes of God. And glorious. Today I see myself as glorious, so glorious, so glorious. Today I see myself as glorious, for I see with the eyes of God. Today I see myself as beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Today I see myself as beautiful, for I see with the eyes of God.
This is one of my favorite tunes to sing for you. Ooh, Let me be intimate with the infinite. Let me be deeply revealed. I want to be one with the knowing, ever present, ever growing. Let me remember what's real. Let me be intimate with the infinite, vulnerable and free. I wanna be one with the sweetness, completely one with completeness. Let me be gentle with me. Falling in love with everything. Falling in love with divinity. Falling in love with everyone. Because God is in you and God is in me. Let me be intimate with the infinite. Let me be open to you. I wanna sink in the spirit. I feel it, I hear it, I see in your eyes the truth. I'm falling in love with everything. I love this new room you have. Falling in love with divinity. Oh yeah. I'm falling in love with I was already in love with you though. Everyone. 'Cause God is in me and God is in you. Take it away. Woo! Fall in love right now. Just do it. Just drop in. Yes. Heart open. Yes. This is where we welcome it in. Give it to me, give it to me, God. Give it to me, give it to me, God. I'm ready to receive your love. Receptive mode for those in foundations. Give it to me, give it to me, God. Give it to me, give it to me, God. I'm ready to receive your love. Come on, I'm ready now. Give it to me, give it to me, God. Give it to me, give it to me, God. I'm ready to receive your love. Give it to me, give it to me, God. Give it to me, God. I'm ready to receive
Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. I'm Reverend Anna Hokangas, and it's summertime here at Unity. So what we have are recordings of some of our favorite artists and new thought thinkers. I hope that you enjoy it. So let's begin with our opening intention, which I'd like to say in the first person, present tense, and positive. So would you join me in consciousness? So take a deep breath, close your eyes if that's comfortable. And know that this is one of the most important and fabulous things that you can do for yourself on any given day, in any given moment. So as I breathe and relax into this moment, I remember the truth of who I am, the truth of life. There is only one divine essence, one presence, one source, and it is being me right here, right now, and yet it is so much more. It is all of life and everything in it, and all the possibilities as well. I am so grateful to know this and to know that I am the architect of my life through my thoughts, feelings, and my actions. And so today I align myself with all the good that I wish to experience in my life, knowing that as I am the good unfolds in every way. I know that love is everywhere, good is everywhere. And so I embrace it and I step into the flow of it. I know all is well and I am grateful. I let go and I let it be so. Please join with me in affirming. And so it is. And let's start with our first song.
So for any of you who have been procrastinating and want to get things done, this is a song that is your cheerleading song, but the main point of it says, I'm going to give myself a gentle push. You got that? I'm going to give myself a gentle push. Just do it. So this is your time to get up off your seats. Probably been sitting too long today. So it's a little kind of a aerobic set. Push, stretch, flex. Here we go. Are you ready? Get up. Come on. I see you. Goes like this. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Don't put it off. Just do it. Just say it. I'll speak my truth. I'll state my needs. Just say it. Just claim it. Act as if know it's done. Just claim it. Just breathe. Breathe in faith. Breathe out fear. Just breathe. Here's your part. Just do it. You sing. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You say, just do it. Here's the line. I'm gonna give myself a gentle push. I'm gonna start today. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Don't put it off. Just do it. Just trust. Trust myself. Trust my heart. Just trust. I'm gonna love. I'm gonna give love. Show love. Just love. Faith. I have faith. All is well. I have faith. Here we go. Just do it. 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 Come on, do it. I'm gonna give myself a gentle push. I'm gonna start today. All right, here's the thing. People have come up to me and said, Karen, we love your music, but you're just not hip. The kids need to get more online with what you're doing. So this is my attempt. Every time I criticize and focus on my flaws, I don't realize that I am worthy and capable, and I deserve to have it all. So now's my time to rise and shine, go for the dreams that are in my mind. Take one small step and not be afraid. With faith and love, I've got it made. Ow! Can't quite get this part happening though. 2, 3. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Don't put it off. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Whatever I want.
Whatever I want.
I'll start today.
Hey,
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Come on, do it.
just do it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give myself a gentle push. I'm gonna start today. Just do it. You know what? It's done.
And let's enjoy this next song before we go into the absolute word.
For years I would talk about how I wanted to change the world, but I always left it up for someone else to do. But then I finally realized that I needed to take a stand, and that by changing my thinking I could change my life, and that's how I could change the world. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Can you sing that with me? Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Sing it out now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Sing it one more time. Let there be peace. Feel that now. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Again, we are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. Yes, we are, and so it is.
So today's absolute word is joy. Could you tell from the songs that we've had so far? So join with me in consciousness as I read this absolute word, joy. I bring joy to everything I do. Like other aspects of my divine identity, joy is a principle for expressing joy. Gladness, exuberant enjoyment are part of joy. Joy grows and flowers in my consciousness when I hold joyful thoughts and feelings. More than a mood or an attitude, joy is part of me and mine to live and to share. Joy is the call of my heart. Whether I'm at work or at play, I bring joy to everything I do. Joy infuses my anticipation, fascination, and satisfaction in new discoveries. My joy is contagious. I love to share it. I have feelings of joy when I take part in a friend or a family member's joyful moments, their celebrations, their accomplishments. I feel quiet joy when I offer encouragement and even when I give comfort, grateful to share care and love, ever centered in my divinity. I bring joy to everything I do. Why don't you say that with me? I bring joy to everything I do. And so it is. Oh, I feel better already, don't you? So now for what we've been waiting for.
I'm Jerome Braggs, and I believe that you can heal yourself from anything, and that self-love is how. And I teach the how. And as I was thinking about what I wanted to speak to you about in this particular video today, I was going through a lot of different things. I have a lot of things in my life that I can share, a lot of wisdom that I've accrued. But I felt like the best thing to do would be to share with you my story about how I came to know that we can heal ourselves from anything, and that self-love is how. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to share with you my own healing journey with self-love and the three main things that I learned about healing our bodies from anything, particularly from disease and chronic illness. In hopes that you can take something I share with you today for your own journey, especially if you're dealing with some type of chronic illness or disease, or if you will in the future, that could instill in you not just hope, but understanding about how to go about the process of bringing yourself back to the wellness that you desire and so divinely deserve. So, my journey started on January 1st, New Year's Day of 2004. I had just a year before that graduated from college and had moved to Washington, D.C. to get my first job. And after, about a time, several months, we were having, Christmas break, and I was not feeling well. I started to not feel well about 2 weeks before New Year's Eve, and just kind of flu-like symptoms. And I was taking everything I knew how to do. I was doing the chicken soup. I was sleeping and resting. I was taking vitamins. Everything I knew how to do to restore myself to wellness when I experienced something like a cold or a flu. And nothing was working. I wasn't getting any better. And on New Year's Eve, I had called my mother, who is a physician, and I had asked her, she was back in my hometown of Oklahoma, and I had asked her, to prescribe me something, can you give me some type of medicine so I can, get well again, so I can go back to work, because we were going back to work, the next 2 or 3 days. And she told me that you can't really prescribe medicine across state. So she asked me my symptoms, and I told her, and she said, well, why don't you go to the emergency room? They can check you out and give you some medicine. You can get back home and get to work. And so that's what I did. I had somebody take me to the emergency room. And by this time, actually, I was in quite a bit of a pain now. I wasn't just kind of sore all over. I wasn't kind of just feeling some type of fever. I was actually in some pain. And when I got to the hospital and the emergency room, and the emergency room doctor, saw me and asked me what was going on, I said, I think I might have the flu. And so they started to run some tests, and they did some blood work. And when she left, it was, she said, I'll just be back in a few minutes. Well, when she came back, instead of just being by herself, she had a team of doctors with her, and she had the phone in her hand. And when she came to me and she handed me the phone, she said, you have a call. And when I said, this was very confusing, because one, why is everybody in here? Two, I didn't know anybody for anybody to be, I didn't know anybody in DC other than my coworkers. I didn't have friends and family there yet, so there would be nobody to be calling me at the hospital. And when I said hello, I could hear my mother on the other end, and she said, I'll be there in the morning, and she hung up the phone. And I just had this feeling that, okay, this is not the flu. And after I kind of stood there looking at the phone, like, okay, my mother will be here in the morning. And I, offered the phone back to the doctor. The doctors came and they surrounded my bed, and they said, son, you don't have the flu. What you have is kidney failure, pancreatitis, anemia, a fluid-packed lung, 20 pounds of fluid on your body, a parasite in your stomach, and if all that wasn't delicious enough already, you also have AIDS. And it seems that these illnesses and diseases have progressed to a point that we don't know if we're going to be able to save you. So you have about 7 days to live. We're going to try everything we can, but you probably need to start getting your affairs in order. And after they said that, the doctors left me alone in the room, and I began to have this big kind of, shock, as any of us would have if we're just being told that we're going to die when we weren't expecting it. And something began to happen for me, which I now know is what a life review is. Now, as soul beings, when we cross over into the other side, or if you want to call it heaven, or the other dimension, one of the first things that happens when you cross over is you have a life review where you begin to look at all of your life and how you lived your life, the choices you made in your life, and see, what those choices led to. And you begin to see from a broader perspective, was this in alignment with kind of what your mission was for being here? And was this the way you wanted to live? And so I began to have a sort of life review right there in the bed. My life began to flash through my eyes, all of my life. And there were some questions that began to come up. And at this time, I was on a spiritual path. I was a student of Michael Beckwith. He was my direct mentor at this time. I was 23, and he was a mentor of mine in college. So I had been studying metaphysics and spirituality for a little bit, and had gone to a Unity church and gone to a New Thought church for a few years. So I was in a space where I believed that I was a soul. I fully believed that, and I believed that death wasn't an end to me, that it was going to just be another transition into another experience for my soul. So the idea of dying wasn't something that I was very afraid of. But as I began to go through this life review, I began to see, how I was living my life. And there were some questions that came up in this review. And there was kind of like three main questions, like, had I really been happy in my life? Had I really been myself? Had I expressed the love that I had in my heart for the people I cared about? Had I really expressed that love? And had I really done what I feel like I had come here to do, like what my purpose was, what my mission was? And as, these scenes were just going past my eyes and eyes and eyes, what I began to realize was that I was feeling a sense of terror. I was starting to feel a sense of terror and dread. And the dread and terror wasn't because I was going to die, but because as I had gone through this life review, what I realized was the answer to all of those questions was no. I wasn't happy with my life. I hadn't shared the love I had in my heart for. There were several people in my life that didn't know how I really felt about them. I had never really been myself. There were parts of myself that I was hiding and suppressing. And I didn't feel like there were things that I really had been calling me to do and that I felt like I was here to do in the world that I wasn't actually doing. And so the terror and the dread wasn't that I was getting ready to die, but that I had realized that I was getting ready to die, never having truly lived. That I hadn't lived this one life that Source, that God, that my soul had given to me to live, and I was getting ready to transition and die, never having, offered this unique expression of my soul into this life, into this world, into this reality. And I had regrets about that. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't myself. I hadn't shared my heart, and I wasn't giving my purpose. And so I felt like I had not lived. And I didn't want to die like that. I did not want to leave my life experience feeling with regret and feeling like I had never really been Jerome. So I made a commitment right there on my deathbed that I wasn't going to die, that I was going to survive, and that I was going to do whatever it takes. And so at that point, I threw everything I knew about creating our own reality at the time. I was a big student of the law of attraction, studied metaphysics, New Thought, all of that. So I understood that, and believed that we create our life experience and that we can move mountains in our favor. But I have been using that type of knowledge before to like get $5 to eat when I didn't have, money to eat on a Friday night, or to get a parking space in front of the movie theater when I was running late, or, to get a date on Saturday night. But what I needed this to be true for at this point was a miracle. I needed a miracle, and I needed it to happen in 7 days. And so I threw everything that anybody ever said about how to create your life and how to manifest, what you want and all of that. I did the vision board. I created a little vision board in the hospital because I was in the hospital this whole time. And I was created a little vision board in the hospital. I would meditate in the mornings. I said my affirmations. I created a positivity bubble. So if you came within 6 feet of me, you couldn't tell me any bad news. I did all the things, right? And as those 7 days went by, I was placed on dialysis, and the doctors were, still touch and go. It could be this week, you made it past this week, but it looks like it may be this week. After the second week went by, well, it may be, maybe you'll go the month. And after that third week went by, well, you're probably going to be on dialysis for the rest of your life. And then after a month, I was released from the hospital. I was on dialysis, and that was going to be the prognosis for the rest of my life. And as I continued, doing the things that I knew, after I got back home from the hospital, I continued all of that for another 2 months. And after 2 months, my body fully healed. There was no HIV or AIDS in my system. They couldn't find the virus anywhere. All the other illnesses had healed and disappeared, and my kidneys were functioning again, and they were taking me off of dialysis. And they were calling me a miracle child. And I was, at this point, I was like, oh, this stuff actually works. Like, we really do. We can create realities, and we can create healings and miraculous healings. And I thought I knew everything about what it took to heal the body and to manifest what we really want. And I thought I really understood all of that until a year and a half after I had fully healed myself. I found myself back in that same hospital with the exact same diagnosis to the T cell count. But this time, instead of 7 days to live, doctor said I had about 48 hours. And when they left me in the hospital room alone again they called my parents to say, catch a red eye right now because you don't have long. And when they left me this time, instead of having a life review, I had 2 questions. And the 2 questions were, I knew that if I had, this illness in my body again, all these illnesses, all of them, to the T, and they were exactly the same readout, that this wasn't a coincidence, that this was a message, that this was my soul's way of trying to get my attention to something that apparently I had been trying very hard not to pay attention to. And so I wanted to know, my first question was, I wanted to know what that was. What is it that my soul is trying to get my attention to through the health of my body? The second thing was, I wanted to know how to truly heal yourself. I wanted to know that. Like, apparently I thought I had it, but I apparently did not, because I'm here back in this hospital dying. And I want to know what it takes to truly heal ourselves. And I want to know fully, right? I don't want to just know to where I keep coming back to the hospital. I want to not, to heal. And to live well. Like, I want a well life, not just a healthy life, but a life that feels good to me, that tastes delicious to me, that fulfills those questions that I had in the first, where I could be facing my death and say, yes, I was happy in my life. Yes, I fulfilled my purpose. Yes, I was my true self. And yes, I expressed the love I have in my heart. I want to know what that takes. And it was shortly after I said that out loud, because I literally said it out loud to the universe in the room, like, please, just, I'm here. I surrender. I don't have anything. I can't go anywhere. Please speak to me, right? Please speak to me. I am surrendered. What do you want me to know? And that is when I began to have what many people call a near-death experience. I began to feel the room went from me being able to tell like where it stopped and where I started. Like it all felt like me. It felt like oneness. It felt like I wasn't just my body, I was everything. And the room got to be like one of the brightest lights I've ever seen. But at the same time, which is kind of still hard to describe, it was also one of the darkest darks I've ever seen. It was like this duality of light and dark at the same time. And then I felt this overwhelming sense of well-being and love. Just like all is well, that I am held and loved and fully seen and accepted. I'm beyond anything that like I can even describe with our human emotional terms. It was a sense of just overwhelming love and overwhelming well-being. And the moment I began to feel that, I heard this voice. And the voice sounded a lot like me, but the non-neurotic me, the me that was at ease, the me that was at peace, the me that felt really good about himself. And the voice said to me that the key, and I knew this voice was source. I knew it as source. Like this, you could feel it just reverberating within your beingness, that this is source and this is me. And it said to me, the key to the healing that you want and the key to the delicious life that you want is to wholly love yourself. You don't know anything about that yet, but you're going to learn. And what you learn, you're going to teach. This will be your life now. And shortly after that, I began to feel my body, be coming back into the room. Like I went back from me being everything to, okay, I have this body and it hurts. And I began to feel into kind of the lights of the room, the dull hospital lights and the colors of the room. And I knew that I had been given the wake-up call moment, the spiritual moment, the big mystic moment of making the choice. And what I knew was if I had the choice to take the path of self-love and heal, or to remain the same and die. And I did not want to die. And so I made the decision that I was going to love myself. And I was going to learn how to heal through loving myself. And that I was going to learn deeply. I wasn't going to necessarily learn quickly. I was going to learn deeply because, again, I didn't want to keep coming back into the hospital and dying. But I also knew, I had a feeling that this was going to change my life, that I was going to be different, that there was parts of me that were going to die, that parts of me were going to die in this moment, and that there was going to be a new me being born, and I didn't know what that new me was. So there was a part of me that was very afraid of this journey that was laid in front of me. But I also knew that if I wanted to live, I didn't have another choice. So I committed to offering my life over as like a living sacrifice to self-love. And that is when my real healing journey began. Now, when I first started my healing journey, I thought, well, let me back up just 1 second. I didn't know anything about loving myself when I was on that hospital bed dying. I had thought I had before. Like most of the narratives around self-love, I thought it was, when I wear something cute, I compliment myself, or I'll buy something at the mall if I really want it, or, I'll say an affirmation or two. But I knew when I had come out of that near-death experience that this wasn't what Source was talking about, the self-love was. It was much deeper than this. And this was something that I was going to have to learn. I was going to have to throw out everything that I thought I knew about it. And so I want to share with you in this last, sections of this, the 3 things that I learned, particularly about loving ourselves, about illness and loving ourselves, that helped me heal myself again. And that has helped me teach other people around the world how to do the same. So the first thing I learned in this journey was a multi-year journey. It took me many, many years after my near-death experience to really, first, I had a lot to unlearn. Oh, I'm sorry, my computer went out. But I had a lot to unlearn. And after, I began to unlearn, I began to learn what loving ourselves really is and what disease really is. And the first thing that was truly helpful and truly transformative in my journey, more than the diets I tried, more than all the healing modalities I tried, more than the medicines I was taking, the surgeries I had, this particular thing was the foundational key. And that was understanding that disease is not a medical condition. It is a spiritual condition. It is an energetic condition. And what I mean by that is we are taught mostly that when an illness, chronic illness or disease shows up in the body, it has done that randomly, or it has done that by genetics, or it has done that by something we're eating. And that is something that is out of our control, and that we definitely are not taught through our current medical lexicon that this particular disease has a message for us. But what I found out was that it isn't that something is wrong with the body. It is because something is missing from the body. And what is missing from the body is the soul, is the spirit. More specifically, what's missing is the energy of the soul. So what was missing from my body was the energy of my soul. And the energy of our soul, the essence of our soul, is love. It is unconditional love. That is what we are literally made of. That is what we are made from. That is where we return to. Like when I crossed over into the other side, that's all that dimension felt like, was unconditional love. That was all that the version of me that was speaking to me, that was source. That is all that felt like. It was all it sounded like. We are love energy incarnate. We are literally the love energy wearing t-shirts and jeans. And what ends up happening is our soul creates our body to house the energy of itself and to allow the energy of itself to experience life in physical form. So, but what ends up happening is there are things that can happen to us through our lives. There are beliefs that we can hold. There are behaviors that we can offer and emotions that we can carry that starve us of the energy of love, that either block us from it or drain us from it or separate us from it. And so pieces of our soul are not fully in our body. Pieces of our soul's energy is not fully in our body. So what I understood, the first thing I had to understand was that instead of disease being this punishment or this enemy that I had to fight against, it was an indicator that I had been running too low on my soul's energy. And that in order to heal myself, I had to learn how to fuel my body with my soul's energy. I had to learn how to nourish my body with my soul's energy instead of deplete and diminish it. And this leads me into the second core piece of understanding here, because this is how I began to understand how I had been depleting my soul's energy from my body and why I had manifested this illness. I hadn't created this illness from intention. Like this wasn't, none of us, no person would create suffering for themselves intentionally. But just like when we get 2 + 2, it always equals 4, there's also a formula for the health of our bodies. And that is to be in energy surplus, to be in love energy surplus, your soul's energy surplus in the body. And if it gets depleted in any type of way, and especially if it gets depleted chronically, like we live a life where it is chronically depleted, it is chronically diminished, it is chronically malnourished of our soul's energy, our body cannot sustain health that way, and it cannot heal when it's already ill. What it needs, the very source of the body's health, And the very nourishment for our body that allows it to heal itself, even more than the food we eat, is the energy of our soul, is the energy of love. This is why all the sages and the mystics across time have said love is our greatest medicine. This is really true. What you're really saying is, my soul is my medicine. My soul is my greatest medicine. It is my greatest nourishment. And when I am disconnected from my soul, I cannot be well. So that is number one, right? That disease is not so much a medical condition as it is a spiritual condition. It is a lack of my soul's energy in my body. The second thing I learned that really helped me heal was what my true diagnosis was. Like, what I mean by that is how I really am. Like, if we understand that the root cause of illness, chronic illness and disease, is lack of our soul's energy, then my real diagnosis is how I'm lacking in my soul's energy. And what happened in my journey afterwards is I began to several intuitive abilities and psychic gifts open for me. And one of the things that began to open for me was medical intuition. And I was able to really see the energy of people's bodies and speak to it and hear it. And especially when they were having an illness, the body would speak and it would say what was happening and what this illness was, what it was actually, what was actually causing it. And time again, I would see that people were lacking in certain vibrations, and that lack of these vibrations were making them sick. And this, as I began to study this over many, many years, I began to understand what I needed to do, like what my actual diagnosis was, and what I began to need to do to heal. And here was the thing that I understood, is that love energy is a multifaceted energy. So we've often been taught that love means affection, but it's so much more than that. It is a multifaceted energy, meaning it has several different aspects that make up the whole of it. Like if it's a pie, it has several pieces in the pie that make up the whole pie. And there are 5 core vibrations that make up what love energy is. And they are worthiness, freedom, ease and peace, interchangeably, bliss, and empowerment. And when we are lacking in one of these vibrations, when we don't feel a sense of worthiness, when we don't feel a sense of freedom, instead we feel bondage, or instead of worthiness we feel shame, instead of bliss we feel depressed or sad, instead of empowerment we feel disempowered. When we do not feel these vibrations within us chronically, and we begin to chronically feel something that disconnects us from those feelings, and those vibrations are, said another way, are emotional states. When we don't feel that, we are lacking in our soul's energy. And when we do that for too long, our bodies begin to shut down. And so how do you discover your true diagnosis? Our medical systems give these things names, and while that can be a little helpful for you, it's not really going to tell you the root cause of what's happening and what you need to do to heal. And so for me, what I discovered was, and how you do that is, how does this illness make me feel? How does this disease or how does this illness make me feel? How do I feel emotionally? How do I feel physically? And so for me, like for example, HIV made me feel ugly, and it made me feel unwanted, and it made me feel unlovable. And what you do is, again, you write those things down. You write, like, what are the emotions that come up around, well, how does this experience make you feel? And how have you been feeling that before? So I was teased a lot as a kid for being a thicker kid. And I was made to believe ever since I was very young, like 5 years old, that my body as it was unwanted, and it was unlovable, and it didn't belong, and that there was something wrong with it. I also realized that I was attracted to the same gender when I was 5 years old. And at that same time, I also felt like something was wrong with me as I am. So I grew up for a long time with the feeling of there's something wrong with me and I am not enough, which starved me from 5 years old of a feeling of worthiness, which is a part of love which is a part of my soul. Kidney failure, one of the things with kidney failure is I didn't feel free. I had to go to dialysis 3 times a week. I couldn't travel like I wanted to. I couldn't exercise and do the things I really wanted to. I felt like I was in bondage a bit and that I wasn't happy. I had been feeling in bondage and not happy for a long time. I had been feeling bondage because I was hiding my sexuality. You know, I was not being my true self. I was trying to hide it, that I wasn't trying to putting on a mask like I was something else. And I wasn't pursuing my real dreams. I was working a 9-to-5 job, but I really wanted to be a singer at that time. And I really wanted to be an actor at that time. And I thought I also wanted to teach spirituality, what I was learning about spirituality at that time. And I wasn't doing any of that. And I started to feel stuck, and I started to feel imprisoned in my own life. And I was feeling that way for a while. So this was a reflection. That's another thing. The disease is always an external reflection of how you are internally feeling and what you are internally believing about, particularly about yourself. So HIV was a reflection of the shame that I had for myself. It was a reflection of me feeling unlovable, unwanted, and not enough. And like there was something wrong with me, right? And there's something wrong with my body. And kidney failure was a reflection of the bondage that I felt and the not doing what made me happy. And so what you do once you get your true diagnosis is, this is how I am lacking in my soul's energy, because my soul's energy is bliss, not unhappiness. My soul's energy is freedom, not bondage. My soul's energy is worthiness and not shame. So this is how I've been holding myself from this for a while, and this is why this disease has manifested as a reflection of that. That is, my body has been starved of love in this way. And the last part that I wanted to share with you is the key to healing yourself is now, instead of starving your body of love in the ways that you were, once you got your true diagnosis, you can see, this is how I've been starving myself of love. This is what my disease is reflecting. The key to healing yourself is to begin to give yourself the opposite energy, right? So instead of shame and feeling not enough, the key to healing myself from HIV was to begin to feel celebratory of myself, to accept my body and my sexuality as it was, and to begin to appreciate it, to see value in it, to feel pride in it, and to no longer hold shame around it. And the key to healing, and that was the aspect of loving myself that I needed. I needed to have appreciation and acceptance for my body and my sexuality. And I needed to no longer perceive myself or speak about myself or behave about myself from a space of feeling like there is something wrong with me. To shift that into the energy of there's only everything right with me. And for kidney failure, to begin to live my truth, to express who I truly am, so that there is nothing in bondage about me. There are no secrets, and there is nothing hidden. There's nothing suppressed. There's only expression, which is freedom. And also to begin to do what I really want to do, right? To begin to live a life that I really wanted to live, and stop living my life by obligation and responsibility, and start living it by passion and joy and desire. And that began to fuel my body with the feelings of the emotions and vibrations of bliss and freedom and worthiness. And this is when my body began to have miraculous healings. I did the green juice diets. I did the alkaline vegan diets. I did every healing modality you can think about. And those things had small and incremental benefits. They were beneficial to me. I did feel better with those things. I did improve smallly, but they never fully got me to a full healing. My full healing didn't actually begin to take place and begin to implement again until I began to do the work of becoming filled more with love, becoming filled more with the vibrations of love, with the vibrations of my soul's energy. And the more I began to feel nourished with my soul's energy and not depleted of it, my body began to heal miraculously again. And to my doctor's surprise, to everybody around me surprised. And that is how I knew that love is the medicine. Love is always the medicine. Your soul's energy, the essence of your soul, is your greatest medicine. And the reason you're sick is not because you ate the wrong things or the genetics. It is because somehow the way you have been living has been starving you of your soul's energy. It has been starving you of love, one of the 5 vibrations of love, if not several of them. And the way to heal yourself is to bring love back into the body, to feel it more chronically. Like, I feel chronically worthy. I feel chronically free. I feel chronically blissful. And those vibrations breathe wellness through me instead of steal it away from me. And so I wanted to share this with you. There's more, but in honor of your time and mine, I just wanted to share those 3 things with you, that disease is not a medical condition as much as it is a spiritual condition. The key to healing is to discover your true diagnosis and use that information to take the path of self-love that you most need, so that you nourish your body with your soul's energy instead of deplete it. I hope this has helped you understand a little bit more about the path of healing yourself and who you really are and what you really need. Until next time, thank you. I love you. Now go love yourself.
So, what did you think? So what were your takeaways today? Why don't you pop something in the live chat or in the comment section below if you're watching us online, or let us know in some other way what you thought of the talk today. And now is our opportunity for conscious giving, which is a spiritual practice. So join with me in this affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all I have, all I give, and all I am. And so it is. And know that you can send us your donations through an e-transfer to admin@unityspiritualcenter.com. We appreciate how you support our community. And please let us know if there's anything that you would like to hear us talk about. I'd love to create a presentation for you. Unity was based and founded in prayer and in healing. And so if you have a prayer request today, please send it to us at prayer@unityspiritualcenter.com. And now join with me in this closing song.
What if a prayer is not a plea, a desperate call with tears that fall on bended knee, but breathing out, and breathing in, it's God in me that lives and breathes, my trusted friend. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. What if today I had the chance to move and sway? God leads the way in my life's dance. What My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a
So thank you for joining us today. It's been a really great pleasure to have an opportunity to create this for you, and I hope to see you next week. Bye for now, and remember, I love you.